Hey guys, Alex here from the Nerd Geek Network, and I've been holding off making one of these videos for a while. That is, of course, a Star Wars video, because as much as I love Star Wars, the fandom I don't always love because of how toxic it can be and all that, because my opinions, you guys are not going to like some of my opinions here probably, and that is fine. The fact is, though, I don't want to be receiving hate comments for it. So if you don't agree with my opinion, please respectfully leave me alone about it, please. It would mean a lot if you would just leave me alone about my opinion if you don't like it, so yeah. But, yeah, so let's get into this, though. I am ranking all of the Star Wars movies, all 11 of them, from worst to best, in my opinion. So yeah, let's get into this, though, guys. In number 11, last place, we have the only Star Wars film which I actually do not like at all, and that is Attack of the Clones. This movie is just... I don't like this movie. Honestly, when I'm rewatching the Star Wars franchise, sometimes I'll even just skip over this one completely. I don't like it. They're both great actors, but Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman do not have good chemistry at all. That's pretty much the whole story of the movie, too, is their love story, with some other side stuff with Obi-Wan going to Kamino and the clones and all that, and Dooku, but this movie was just bad acting and all that. So yeah, I do not like Attack of the Clones really at all. So yeah. In 10th place, we have Revenge of the Sith. This opinion people are not going to like me for, but I like Revenge of the Sith. I like the movie. It's just lower on my list. The acting was much better in Revenge of the Sith, and it was a much more exciting movie than Attack of the Clones, which is great. I was able to buy into the acting from Hayden and Natalie, especially more in this movie than I was in Attack of the Clones. It felt more realistic, better acting and all that, and yeah, so I really like this movie actually. So yeah, I like all of them except for Attack of the Clones. That's the one I don't like. So yeah. In 9th place, we have The Last Jedi. This movie had a lot of problems for me. I like it, I do. I like this movie, but it has a lot of problems. Specifically, the Poe Dameron storyline. He pretty much got most of the Resistance killed in this movie. So yeah, I love the Canto Bite storyline. Most people don't. I like the storyline. I felt the acting between Finn and Rose was really good, as well as the acting between Rey and Kylo. I like this movie. It's definitely one of the least thought out Star Wars movies, but it's enjoyable. So yeah. So I like this movie, so yeah. In 8th place, we have Solo, A Star Wars Story. This movie, I like it, but I don't find myself rewatching it very often. It's good. It has its merits and its flaws. I think the best part of it is how well Alden Ehrenreich was actually able to portray a younger Han Solo. And yeah, I also really like the character of Beckett. He was kind of cool. Then we have some other great characters, Dryden Voss, and yeah. But this was a pretty good movie, a pretty good origin story for Han Solo. The only real thing I didn't love about it was kind of it wasn't the fastest moving movie in my opinion. It was a kind of slower movie in my opinion. That's the only thing I didn't really like about it though, so yeah. Coming in 7th place, we have The Phantom Menace, the best of the prequel trilogy in my opinion. This is where we get to the movies. This is where we get to the 7 Star Wars movies I completely love. The ones before it I don't love. These ones I love. Phantom Menace, starting us off at number 7 here, is the best prequel. Darth Maul was awesome. I love the double-bladed lightsaber they gave him. He was such a cool character to have in there. So yeah, I think the whole stuff was all great. You had a younger Anakin, obviously, and I think he did a pretty decent job in the role. You had Ewan McGregor stepping in as Obi-Wan for the first time, which was awesome. Ewan McGregor is Obi-Wan in my opinion. So yeah, but yeah, I think Phantom Menace is definitely the 7th best Star Wars movie. Still in the bottom half of my list, but still really, really freaking good. So yeah, then you had Qui-Gon, and the only thing I didn't love about Phantom Menace was the way Yoda looks in Phantom Menace. Not good. So yeah. Next up, in the smack dab in the middle of my list, we have Rogue One. I love Rogue One. This movie is pretty damn good. This movie is almost flawless. The acting was amazing. This might be one of the best acted Star Wars movies we have. We got introduced to Cassian Andor, one of the greatest Star Wars characters. One of them, not the greatest. Probably top 5 in my opinion, though. Maybe I'll do another video sometime. Top 10 best Star Wars characters, maybe? But anyway, yeah, I think this movie is great, well acted, a more serious Star Wars movie that shows like how war really is, you know? So yeah, this was a really good, complex Star Wars movie that I really enjoyed. Next up, at number 5, we're getting into the top 5, and okay, people are gonna barbecue me for this one. Empire Strikes Back is number 5. Sorry, I know it's not number 1 like a lot of people would say, but this is number 5 for me. I really like Empire. I think it's great. Only real problem is, just isn't my favorite, you know? I just like the others more. Well, the other 4 that I haven't mentioned more. So yeah, I think though this is a really solid Star Wars movie, one of the best, definitely top 5 here. I felt like the acting was really good. There was, oh my god, definitely a much better lightsaber fight in this one than we had in the previous one. I mean, geez, like what the hell was that in A New Hope? I mean, and speaking of New Hope, at number 4 we have A New Hope. The original Star Wars movie and all that. This was the first Star Wars movie, and it was great. It started this franchise. Without this movie, Star Wars wouldn't exist, and it's good. I really like A New Hope. The only problem I have in A New Hope is the lightsaber fight. It just felt like 2 old men hitting each other with their canes. I mean, like, come on. It's like... So yeah, but other than that, A New Hope, the acting was great. You got introduced to those core 3, Luke, Han, and Leia, that would continue throughout this trilogy. So yeah, I love A New Hope. At number 3, though, we have Return of the Jedi. This movie is really good in my opinion. Until the sequels came out, this was my favorite Star Wars movie for a while before the sequels came out. So yeah, I love this movie. I felt like it was the perfect conclusion to the original trilogy. And yeah, I love how Vader's redemption arc in this one, it was great. I really feel these characters. These are the characters I kind of grew up watching. And then I got the sequels, so those kind of became my kind of new favorites. But I love the original Star Wars trilogy. I grew up on Star Wars, so my dad saw it as a kid. He introduced it to me, and yeah, I loved Star Wars growing up. And this was the movie I definitely fell in love with when I was younger. So yeah, and then you have all this character development in this movie. This was a good movie. The only problem with it was how easily the Ewoks were able to, destroy the Empire on Endor, which that was a little ridiculous. But hey, I don't mind. I really don't mind that. You had a bunch of cool sequences in this movie, so yeah. At number 2, again, people are not going to like me for putting this all the way at number 2, but The Rise of Skywalker. For a while after this one came out, this was my favorite for a while after it came out. It's since changed, but yeah, I really like Rise of Skywalker. I felt like it was a really good conclusion to the sequel trilogy. Say what you will about the sequels, they are fun movies. They are fun movies to watch, yet they're exciting, action-packed, and all that. I felt, and I feel these characters. I really like these characters that they have in the sequels. So yeah, it's honestly some of the best Star Wars I've seen, in my opinion. So yeah. But yeah, I really like it. I know there's the whole complaint about Palpatine's return and all that, but seriously, guys, this was not a bad movie. And yeah, people go and blame J.J. Abrams for this movie. Well, blame Rian Johnson. He killed the villain that J.J. was setting up in The Last Jedi. That was a dumb move, in my opinion, killing off Snoke. But yeah. But anyway, here we go. My favorite Star Wars movie is The Force Awakens. This was the first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters, and it was such an awesome experience seeing it on the big screen. I loved this movie. This movie was very well made. People will complain about it, saying that stuff like, Ray's a Mary Sue, and okay, yeah, I have a quick question here. Anakin grew up in slavery and blew up a battle station when he was 8. Luke grew up as a farm boy and then blew up the Death Star. Rey was a survivalist her whole life. Honestly, it makes more sense that she was so good with the lightsaber than the other two, It makes more sense, actually, than Luke and Anakin's storylines. And I love these movies, man. The sequels are great. And The Force Awakens is the start of that and my favorite Star Wars movie. You had the great characters. You had, obviously, as Han Solo's last movie, he went out pretty well, I think. But yeah, I think they did justice to this movie very well. And yeah, I love every minute of it, and Kylo Ren is one of the best villains Star Wars has ever had. So yeah, and this is the movie that introduced him. So yeah. Anyway though, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I love Star Wars. And guys, seriously, this is all subjective, guys. Please don't hate on other people's opinions. This is a problem in many fandoms, but especially the Star Wars fandom. People will throw death threats for just because someone has a different opinion in the Star Wars fandom, and that's not right, guys. Just please don't do that. That is so rude and inconsiderate. So yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, if you want to see me do more Star Wars videos, let me know, please, because I am totally willing to do more. I love Star Wars. It is a franchise that I love. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.